Stay safe.
Stay active.
And stay healthy.
Hi guys, I'm Miss Piper from Past Physical Activity and Sports Specialist, and today we're going to be carrying on with our gymnastics lessons. We're going to be looking at linking our balancing and our travelling together, so trying to do two things at the same time. Before we get onto that, we always need to do a warm-up. So our warm-up today is going to be the animal game. It's one of my favourite games. Now all we have to do is act out a type of animal, and we're going to decide whether it's a low travel or a high travel, or maybe even a medium travel. Right, I'm going to start and you guys are going to follow along with me. So find yourself a space, make sure there's nothing around you that you can bump into. Our first animal is going to be a giraffe. So we are going to stretch up as tall as we can, up onto our tiptoes as well, and we're just going to be walking around our space like a giraffe. So we're stretching really tall, try and stretch right up to the ceiling if you can. That's it, we're going to go for 10 more seconds. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to stop there. Right, I'm going to try and think of a low travel this time. What kind of animal could I travel like this? A low one. I am going to choose a lion. Now, lions do go really fast, but I'm in quite a small area, so I'm not going to go that fast. If you've got a bigger space, you might decide that your lion is going really fast. So for our lion, we're going to get our hands and feet on the floor, and we're just going to be crawling around on our hands and feet. And we can change direction. We can turn around and go a different way. So who can give their lion a try? So crawling on their hands and feet. 10 seconds, let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to stop there. Okay, right, I'm going to have a think about an animal or a travel that I could do that would be a medium height. What kind of travel might that be? So our lion, if we can make our lion a little bit taller, that might be a medium travel. So somewhere in the middle. So I'm going to be hopping around like a bunny. So I'm just going to have my hands in front of me, bend my knees. I'm just going to hop around like a bunny, just hopping around. Let's see if you guys can give it a try. Ready? 10 seconds, let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Okay, right. I've given you 3 animals that we've tried, and I'm sure you guys can come up with loads more than that. So I'm going to pause the video here and let you guys carry on this warm-up. See how many animal travels you can come up with. So pause the video here. Well done for completing our warm-up. So we are going to move on to the main part of our lesson now. And as I said before, we're looking at linking our travelling and our balancing. So we need to recap some of our balances to make sure we can remember how we do them. We're going to start with some point balances. So just small parts of our body that we could balance on. So we are going to start with a really simple 4-point balance, and it's going to be our front support balance. So for this one, you need to make sure that you've got a nice space and maybe something soft on the floor if you've got one. Okay, so our front support balance. All we do is we put our 2 hands on the floor and our legs behind us. If I turn this way, you guys will be able to see it as well. So this is our front support balance. I'm just going to hold this for 3 seconds. So 1, 2, 3. And then we can relax. That's a really simple 4-point balance that I'm sure we can all do. So that's our front support. About back support. It's another 4-point balance. Let's see if we can do that one. So we start sitting on our bottoms and we put our hands behind us and we just lift our bottom up, keeping our legs nice and straight. So this is another 4-point balance because 4 points of my body are touching the floor. Let's see if we can change those 4-point balances into 3-point balances. So to change them into a 3-point balance, we just need to lift one body part up. I'm going to try it with my front support. So I'm going to do my front support balance and I'm going to try to just lift one leg up and hold it for 3 seconds. So 1, 2, 3. And then I can come out of my balance. Can we change a back support balance into a 3.1? Let's give it a try. So we sit on our bottoms with our hands just behind us and we lift ourselves up. And again, can we lift one leg up? And we hold it for 3 seconds. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And that's it. That's a 4-point and a 3-point balance done. Now, I'm not very good at balancing, so I picked some really easy ones for me. But you might know some harder ones. Let's see, can you give it a try? So pause the video here and go and give these a try. Welcome back, guys. I hope you managed to come up with some good 4-point and 3-point balances. Now, you might have already looked at this, but I'm going to try some 2-point and even some 1-point balances this time. So balancing just on 2 points of my body. So I might choose, I'm just going to stand up nice and tall. That's 2 points of my body touching the floor, right? That's far too easy. We are far too good. So what other kind of 2-point balance could I do? I don't have to just use my hands and feet. I've got shoulders, I've got knees, tummies, bottoms, elbows, loads of body parts I can balance on. So let's give it a try. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can balance on one knee and one hand. And I'm going to use my other arm out behind me to try and help me balance. So let's go 1, 2, 3. Perfect. See if you can follow along with me. We're going to do the same one again. So one knee and one hand. And if we can't balance, we hold our hand out to help us. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And that's it. That was 2 points of our body touching the floor. Okay, let me have a little think about what other ones we could do. So just 2 points of our body touching the floor. What about one hand and one foot? Now this sounds really tricky to me. So I'm going to start in my front support and I'm going to lift one leg up and without slipping, I'm going to try to lift one hand up. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I didn't quite hold that for 3 seconds, but I'm sure you guys are better at balancing than I am. I've seen some people that I know can balance on just their knees. So they lift their feet up, if I can show you. They lift their feet up behind them and they're balancing just on their knees. Let's see if you can give that a try, because that is a really hard balance. Okay, right, my last one was a 1-point balance. 1 point of my body touching the floor. I'm going to decide to use my bottom because I haven't used that yet. So I'm going to balance on my bottom. I'm going to lift my legs up and hold my arms up to the side to help me balance. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I can make this balance even harder by making my legs nice and straight and my arms out for 1, 2, 3. Now I know that you guys can probably all do this, but we're going to give it a try anyway. The flamingo balance, one of the greatest balances there is in gymnastics. So we lift our leg up and we put our arms out and we hold ourselves up nice and tall. Now, if this is a little bit too easy, can you lean forward and straighten your back leg out? And we hold this for 1, 2, 3. Okay, guys, right, pause the video here to go and try those new 2 and 1 point balances. Hey guys, well done. Hopefully you managed to come up with even more balances. Now for this next part, you are going to need a partner. So either someone you're working with in school or someone at home. If you haven't got anyone, that's fine. You can still play by yourself because you'll just be giving yourself the commands. Now I haven't got a partner, so I'm just going to pretend that I've got one. My partner is going to give me a command. They might say narrow, wide, high or low. So I'll tell you one more time. So it's narrow, wide, high or low. Now, when they say that, I need to choose a balance that matches what they say. So if they say a wide balance, I can balance on any part of my body, as many parts as I like, but I must be as big as I can. So I'm going to decide that for my wide balance, I'm going to balance on my bottom with my arms and legs out as wide as I can get them. And that's going to be my wide balance. Now, if they said a high balance, I need to think about how I can make myself nice and tall. So that might be our flamenco balance, where we're balancing to the side. Or we might decide to stretch our arms up and see if we can balance on our tiptoes to make ourselves really high. So So that's what we're going to do. You're going to give it a try with your partner or whoever you've got at home. So your 4 commands are wide, narrow, high and low. Remember to keep swapping over so you both get a turn. Right, pause video here to go and give that a try. Welcome back, guys. I'm sure you're having fun with all these balances we are creating. Now, I did say that we were going to look at linking balances and travelling. We haven't really done much travelling yet, so that's what we're going to have a look at right now. The different types of travels we can do. Now, in our warm-up, we were travelling like animals, and in gymnastics, there's so many types of travels we can do that I'm sure we can experiment. So we're going to give some a try. We are just going to do a really simple walk to start with. With our walk, we are just going to make sure that we extend our legs in front of us. So we step forward and then our next leg comes forward and we step, stretch and step. So it's super simple. I'll show you one more time. So we stretch and step, stretch and step. And I can have my arms out to the side or my arms up by my ears. I'll do it one more time actually. I'm going to do it with my arms by my ears this time. So I'm going to stretch and step, stretch and step, stretch and step. Let's have a look at a different type of travel. Now we are going to look at a high knees or a high skipping travel. So you need to make sure that you have got a bit of space for this one. So I'm going to go back to give myself some space. Now high skipping means lifting my knees up as high as I can get them. So I stretch really high, lifting my knee up. And you might have seen that I was also swinging my arms to help me. Let's give it a try. So high skipping. So we skip up really high and we're jumping as we do it. Okay, now we've been quite high in our travelling, haven't we? We've been standing up so far. Let's look at some low travelling. What kind of travels could we do nice and low to the ground? We could decide that we're going to be a bit like a snake and we're going to slide along the floor. I'm going to show you a really cool one that I reckon you can do. Now, just be careful if you have got a slippery floor like me, you might find this a bit tricky, but we're going to give it a try anyway. It's called the caterpillar walk. So we start all scrunched up, we stretch our caterpillar out by our hands, and then we walk our feet to meet our hands. And we stretch our hands out again and walk our feet in to meet our hands. And that's our caterpillar, because they stretch, and then they curl, and then they stretch again. I want to see what type of travels can you come up with. And I don't want to see any running or jogging because we all know we can do that. And there are different types of travels we can do. So pause video here and go and give that a try for me. Okay guys, right, we are going to try and link our balances and our travels together this time. So we're going to be trying to move in any way you would like to, hold a balance and then move again. Can you remember how long we've been holding our balances for? 3 seconds, that's right. So we hold them for 3 seconds. Okay, right, I'm going to start with a really simple one. And you can join me if you want to and copy along. So I'm going to do just my big step in and then I'm going to go into either a flamingo or my arabesque balance. You can choose which one. Okay, are we ready? So we put our arms up in the air and we're going to do our big steps. So we're going to step and stretch, stretch and step. And ready, we're going to go into our arabesque or our flamingo. We're going to hold it for 1, 2, 3. And that's it. Let's do it again. Okay, find yourself space. Stretch up nice and tall. Ready, we're going to stretch and step, stretch and step, stretch and then straight into our arabesque. Or remember, you can do your flamingo balance. So 1, 2, 3. That was quite a simple one, wasn't it? And I think you guys are going to be really good at that. So this time I'm going to change it. I'm still going to do my stretch and step walking, but I'm going to do a 3-point balance. So I'm going to finish, instead of doing my arabesque, I'm going to finish in a balance like this with 2 hands on the floor and my legs stretched out behind me. Right, let's try it. So arms up in the air, nice big stretch, stretch and step, stretch and step, stretch and step. And then we're going to go straight into our 3-point balance. So our hands on the floor, leg behind us for 1, 2, 3. And that's it. Now, I think I've picked quite easy travels. Step and stretch is one of my easier travels. So what about if we tried a harder one? Now, I'm going to do some frog jumping. So I'm going to start down low and then I'm going to jump up high, moving forward. I'm going to do 3 and then I'm going to choose a balance. So from this frog shape, what kind of balances could we get into? Well, I could get into my front support balance, couldn't I, with my hands and feet on the floor? Or from here, I could try to get into my knee balance. If I show you this way, I can lift my knees up, arms out and try to balance. So we're going to give it a try. Okay, we ready? Find ourselves a space. Crouch down like a frog. 3 frog jumps. Ready? Go. So 1, 2, 3. And then think about it. What balance do we want to do? I'm going to do my knee balance. So if I turn this way, you can see. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Right, I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to do a different balance this time. And I want you guys to do the same. Frogs, are we ready? And go. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to stop. I'm going to get into my front support balance for 1, 2, 3. And that's it. That's all we're going to try. So can you link one travel with a balance? It can be any type of travel you like that you've just practiced from a minute ago. Right, pause the video here for me and go and give that a try. Well done everyone, looking really good. This time we're going to be linking a high and a low balance with a travel, and we're going to do the same travel in between them. So I am going to do my stretch and step walking. I'm going to go into my flamingo balance. I'll do my stretch and step walk again, and then I'm going to do a low balance. So I might do my 3-point balance. Okay, we ready? So I am going to stretch up nice and tall, and I'm going to stretch and step, stretch, step, stretch, and I'm going into my arabesque or flamingo for 1, 2, 3, and then I'm coming back straight into 1 step, 2 steps, 3, and I'm going straight down into my 3-point balance with only 1 foot on the floor and 2 hands touching the floor. I'm going to show you that one more time. So I stretch up nice and tall and I go stretch and step, stretch and step, stretch and step into my flamingo or my arabesque. And then I come back and I'm going to do the steps again. So it's 1, 2, 3, straight into my last balance, my 3-point balance. So I picked a nice easy travel to get me started. I can make my travels harder. I could do the frog jumping that I did earlier. I might do some of that high skipping, lifting my legs up nice and high. You might decide that you were crawling around on the floor or maybe spinning on the floor. Whatever kind of travel you would like to do. So this is our challenge. Can we do a travel, do a high balance, do another travel and finish with a low balance? Right, pause video here to go and give that a try. Welcome back guys. Right, we are getting on to the last section of our lesson, and so far we've done loads of stuff. We've done some travelling on our own, some balancing on our own, and then we started linking them together with those high and low balances. And now it's time for you to decide how you want to do it. Now you can make a 5-step sequence. That might be that you've got 3 travels and 2 balances, or 2 travels and 3 balances. You can choose however you want to create it. What I am looking for is some really active travels. So making sure our travels are all different. So if we do our step walking, our next travel is going to be different to that. And it might be one that's a little bit more energetic, like our skipping or jumping, hopping, bunny hopping, frog jumping, loads of things that you've made up in this lesson. So that's what we're going to do, or you're going to give it a try. So you've got 5 steps that you can do. 3 balances and 2 travels, or 3 travels and 2 balances. Okay, pause the video here to go give that a try. Well done everyone, you have made it to the end of our gymnastics lesson. I'm sure you are just as worn out as I am. Well done for giving our balances and our travels a go, and even trying to link them together. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves and had loads of fun. Before we finish though, we do need to do our cool down. We're just going to do some stretches through our balances. We're going to hold each balance, or try to hold it, for 3 seconds. So you can follow along with me because I'll tell you what we're doing. We're going to start with a V-sit, then we'll move into a crab, into our back support, side support and front support. Okay, so find yourselves a space. If you are at home, make sure you're not going to knock into anything and you have got enough room that you can stretch your legs out and stretch your hands out. Okay, so our first balance, as I said, is our V-sit. So we're going to lift our legs up, and you can have your hands on the floor if you need to. You can hold onto your legs or your hands out to the side. So we're going to hold it for 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to lower down nice and gently. From here, we're going to go into our crab balance. So we lift our feet to the floor, hands on the floor, and we just lift our tummy up. And we're going to hold it for 1, 2, 3. Now from here, can you slide your feet forward and go into our back support, looking down at our toes for 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to sit down. As we're here, we're going to do a quick pike stretch. So we're going to stretch our arms up to the sky, stretch forward to try and touch our toes, or as far as you can reach. Remember, point those toes and really hold it. Right, we're going to take a big deep breath in. When we breathe out, we're going to stretch a little bit further. So big deep breath in and out, go further for 1, 2, 3. Okay, right, we are going to turn to our side. Now, you can decide how you're going to do this one. You might have your knee on the floor and your hand, and you stretch up using your knee to support you. Or, if that's too easy and you feel like you want more of a stretch, we can put both our feet on the floor and we can stretch out for 1, 2, 3. Then we lower down again. We are going to go into our front support this time. So front support is where our hands and feet are on the floor. So I put my hands out in front of me, my feet out, and I hold the straight shape for 1, 2, 3. Now from here, we are going to go into a 3-point balance, or a 3-point stretch. So we stretch our hands in front of us, 1 foot behind, and then we lift one leg off the floor for 1, 2, 3. I'm going to turn this way so you can see. I'm going to do the same on the other leg this time. So stretch my leg out, hold myself up, and lift my leg up for 1, 2, 3. Okay, couple of stretches just to finish. Can we sit in a straddle shape? Stretch our arms up to the sky, and we're going to be a bit like a tick-tock clock, and we're going to reach over to one side to put our hand on the floor. So this hand goes on the floor and we stretch as far over as we can. And we're going to hold this for 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And back up to middle of our clock, and we tick-tock to the other side. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, last stretch, we are going to tick-tock forward as far as we can go. And I reckon you guys can go a lot further than I can. So just hold that stretch for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's it. All our stretches are done. Well done for joining in. Thank you for watching our videos, and I will see you again soon. Remember, stay safe, stay active, and stay healthy.